you notice the different colors. Those are for my information. When I started, I used the black over white, like N2XD, okay? And then the next year I went to this, red over white. And then the year after that, I went red over white with a, like PC there, with a yellow line underneath it, so. And from there I went to, let's see, blue. And this year I'm using black over green. So it kind of, when I'm sorting cards, and I know a station is relatively new, I can find them pretty easily by just looking at the color tabs. It may sound very silly or kind of odd, but believe me, I need everything I can do to help. If you look inside, AG4PP, he's got some cards there, not enough for an ounce. Also, in this folder, there's a large paper stock or card stock. That tells me right away he's got more envelopes underneath in the overflow. So that helps me there. Let's see, Frank KC3 TK, his, and so what I do is when I get the cards and I get them sorted, obviously start from the first call area, work my way down here all the way around until I get to the end. And as I'm doing it, if it looks like an envelope is getting pretty close to whatever the postage is on it, then I weigh it in on the scales. In this room here, I got 3 scales in this room. I got one right here, and then over here above the 7th and 8th call area, I got one. And then last but not least, I have one over here by the 9th and 10th. Otherwise, believe it or not, I'd be flying all over this room all the time. So that helps a great deal. And then when I fill the files or the envelopes, I just store them on top here until I get done, and then I gather them all together. I put my table, my little portable table on top of these folders, and I start logging them in of what's going out. And with that, here's the folder that I have. And in this folder, I have, see if I can get close enough to see it. This is the first call area. This is, I think I've sent this to a lot of people and they are wondering why it's different colors. Well, the A's are in red, the N's are in red, and K's and W's are black. Only reason that is so I can spot them easy. So what I do here, say CPC had an envelope go out today, well then I will put 11 next to the 12, okay? And I just updated these files here day before yesterday, so obviously there's no changes because it's brand new. And usually in the winter time, I try to update about every 2 weeks. I'll go to the computer, I'll bring this file up that has all these information on it, and I'll transfer the information over to the computer, and then I'll print out a new file. Sometimes I forget to enter it in here. Either here or I forget when I'm updating from here to the computer, I may lose count. So when I send you how many FCSEs you have left, I can safely say it's an estimate, but it's a darn close estimate. And if I go into your folder and you say you got 21 envelopes on, and I look in your file and you got 1 left, well, what that's kind of telling me is either I screwed up really big time, or when I transfer the information over, you got 3 here, and then you get 2 and then 1. I took the 2 and 1 as 21. I mean, it's just stupid errors, but usually when I get a close count is, I'll look at if I reach in your folder and you're down to the last one, then I'll write some kind of note on there to make sure that you're pretty you know what you got left. This list here is Richard's what's good in his bureau, and that was just updated on June 8th. Today's the 10th. So if I have a lot of envelopes on file here, or I'm sorry, cards that don't have a home, I'll check his. If his is has, or if his shows that the station is good in his bureau, then I'll put him in his file, and at least they'll get a home. They'll get home. This is a list of stations that have extra envelopes on file down under here, like I showed you before. So I can't very quickly see who's, you know, outside of the folder and the normal. On top here, I can tell where the extra ones are and who has them. Up here on this little board here, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I zoom in a little bit. Again, 10 spaces, one for each call area. As I get new files in, what I like to do is put the call sign on the board. For instance, NJ4's O just joined the bureau. He's up there. You know, it's like this. Anyway, it's new members or changes that I can spot from across the room. So if I'm sorting cards and I thought, I don't have him in this bureau, is he? And I'll look, and then I can kind of tell. Color coded again. Each month it changes colors. This month is black. Last month was green. The month before that was red. You get the idea. So I can kind of tell who's fairly new and who's been around a while. So let's see what else we got here. Over here is these are cards with no homes right now. Sorted by call area. I have, for instance, the 5th call area. Let's see, what do we got here? N5DUX, AA5MR. Either I don't have envelopes for them, or it could be could be clubs that I don't have. Excuse me, I don't have a listing for. So they stay, and I check these periodically. I'll go through the call areas and find out. A lot of times they'll be in here, and the station will send envelopes in. So I'll check the call area that they're in up here and give him the files. I'm sorry, give him the cards that are his, that I got before he sent the envelopes in. Let's see, down here, this is my postal plan, the new folders that I sell these envelopes. Most of these, actually, a lot of these on the top here are recycled customers, but members that no longer in the bureau or whatever, and they haven't been active in 3 or more years or whatever. Well, then I'll put them in the active file, and I'll reuse the envelopes. And they're a little touchy on that part, but you get the idea. And over there in those boxes there in the corner, those are new 6x9 envelopes that I'll be offering in a membership, and there's 1,000 envelopes right there. It's the beginning of June right now. I'll have those used up probably by mid-July. Let's see, nothing to speak about in there. Extra envelopes for my, what do you call it, courtesy envelope fund. So I'll put an extra envelope in for a folder for somebody who is new in the bureau, and that's where they come from. And that stack right there is some of N9K and J's. He's getting kind of light now. He's down to about 540, I think. The rest of them are behind me in the cabinet, but yeah, good old Ron. And there was something else I wanted to say too. When I get back to Jay, the other guy on the other side of the river, Here's what he did to me one time. Check this out. Yeah, he sure liked that picture. Send me about the sides, edges, corners, and the mailman loves it. Photo ID required, you know. So now you know why Jay and I are horsing around all there. How can I turn this down, you know? What else? Oh, okay. I don't know if I showed you this before or not, but yeah, I showed you that. When incoming, I'll log it all in there. Outgoing, the last 2 years, I would put how many went out each day. So as you can see, I had a lot of envelopes go out there in January, even February, pretty many. And last, or 2 Junes ago, it wasn't that busy, but so I just at the glance, I can see what kind of month I've been having and so on and so forth. And this was the year before. And these calendars here used to be 10, 15 bucks a piece, but now they're over 20. So I thought, oh, I'm going to do it the easier way. So now I do it by hand here. I'm sorry. I do it with a smaller calendar. And I keep a record of everything that goes out, incoming. And if you ever have a question about anything with the Bureau, basically all you need to do is just email me, call me, whatever. And in most cases, I can get an answer for instantly or very quick. So many people say, did you get my 12-ounce package of cards that I mailed? And I look back on those folders. Yeah, I got it on whenever. And I also do a lot of, if people need a card for an award and they're only down to 1 or 2 cards left, I'd be more than happy to take the card if I get it, scan it on this machine here, and then email a copy of the card to them, and then they can submit the award right away. So it don't take much. It doesn't take much time for me to do that, and I'm happy to do it. And the people who get it, they're happy because then you can get this award rolling. Most of the time when you hear me on the air, I'm in this radio up here. It's a 746 Pro, and 9 times out of 10, if you do hear me, I'm on this radio playing in the background, and I'm on this computer here with this 19-inch monitor here. I like to do digital, but it's kind of hard working on the cards when they're sending you a signal on PSK and they're not paying attention. You know, I don't know how many times I was checking into one of the nets and, well, I missed a call because I was doing something else. Well, I guess that just about does it on this end. I'm going to be going, this, by the way, is today's mail that I just got. And when I get done with this, I'm going to take care of that. And I know there was more I wanted to tell you, but you think I can remember it? No. Well, last thing I can see here is rubber stamps. A whole variety of rubber stamps here. For instance, I used to have so many SASEs left, you know, for the 75 and digital QSLs. Well, then I changed it to 160, or I added 160, so then I had a little bit smaller stamp made. So of course the club logo is better if I turn the right way. There you go. And then this one I use if I flip the postage for somebody who is out of envelopes. Sometimes I'll stamp this on the back, which basically is saying I absorb the cost of this shipment. When you do send more SASEs, please, you know, throw a green stamp to help me as far as trying to keep the cost down as